everyone, and welcome to Grove City, Pennsylvania. Tonight, it's the opening night of PAC play league-wide. As this evening on the PAC Sports Network, the Grove City Wolverines host the Thomas More Saints. I'm Randy Gore along with Justin Piles for tonight's broadcast doubleheader. And first, we'll have women's action in the 7th-ranked team of the nation, the Thomas More Saints, as ranked by D3Hoops.com. Also ranked number 11 in other polls, but no matter what publication you look at, this Thomas More team ranked very high across the country, and well-deserved. Jeff Hands, in his third year as head coach at Thomas More, has built up quite a group. They are undefeated at 5-0. Obviously, this is the PAC opener, and visiting a Grove City team that's 1-4 overall, but hoping that they might have a chance here on their home floor to stick with Thomas More and perhaps pull out the upset. But a Thomas More group, as we were saying, that really has been impressive this year.
Yeah, Thomas More has been the dominant team on the women's side in basketball in the conference for the better part of a decade. Multi-time conference winner, tournament winner, regular season champion, you name it. You think PAC women's basketball, you have to think Thomas More. And this team might be the best team that this program has had in quite some time.
They've won 7 consecutive conference crowns. They're looking for an 8th straight. And not to say that winning the PAC has been old hat for the Saints, but in a sense it has. A national title is the goal for this Thomas More team every time they step on the floor. And as they always say, and we talked with them last year, talked with Coach Hands a little bit before tonight's game, but they always talk about PAC first. You know, you can't get to the NCAA tournament without winning the conference tournament first. And PAC first, but this is a group that always has their eye on the big prize, that national title, if they can get that done. And certainly this is one, as you talked about, this might be the best team they've had out of recent years. And I know, talking with Jeff Hands, he said that at least of his time at Thomas More, that this is the deepest team that they've had.
Well, he would know more than us. We get to see him every once in a while, but he gets to see them every day. So they've definitely had a deep team the last couple years, and I'm anxious to see them here live tonight. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of hype, obviously with the high ranking. It's well deserved. It's a program that's been at the top of the conference and national power for quite some time. But I'm anxious to see them and see how they are in action, see how they work well with each other. Last year they had PAC Player of the Year Allison Long. She's since graduated and now is actually an assistant coach on the staff. But it's not often that you can lose the Conference Player of the Year and reload with the veterans you have coming back and some new faces and think that you have a better team than the previous year.
A team that has breezed by all 5 opponents so far to their 5-0 mark. And the rich get richer in a sense with transfer Sydney Moss. She's a sophomore, played her freshman season at Florida, at D1 Florida, wanted to transfer to a school closer to her family in Kentucky, and was embroiled in a reportedly bitter effort to transfer, as it turned out, but was ultimately released and released to transfer to most schools. She was blocked from Kentucky, but because that's an SEC team for Florida, a conference foe, decided on transferring ultimately to Thomas More, and she has been a welcome addition to the Thomas More Saints, as she has produced a player that really can take a game over, and Coach Hand says they haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah, and also by coming to Thomas More, she didn't have to wait a year on a transfer rule. A lot of times when you're going from school to school within the same division, you have to sit out a year. But she's able to play right away, and she's contributed right away for Thomas More, winning the Conference Player of the Year, or Player of the Week, the first 2 weeks of the season.
Well, we're just about set for the national anthem here at the Grove City College Arena as things grow quiet in the arena. So both teams will head to their respective benches here momentarily. We'll have the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and the opening tip of PAC play tonight on the PAC Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help.
Bankruptcy myths. Busted.
I heard you lose everything you own when you file bankruptcy.
The whole point of bankruptcy is to get a fresh start, and that's only possible if you have something to start with. In over 95% of bankruptcy cases, individuals keep everything they own, including their home, car, pension, and household goods.
Myth busted. Bankruptcy Myths Busted, brought to you by Foster Law Offices. Call today to schedule a free consultation and sleep better tonight.
For 3 generations, Sharps Furniture has been proud to serve southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharps carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharps Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA.
Hi, I'm John Williams, Superintendent of J&D Waterproofing. If you have bowed or cracked walls due to water seepage in your basement, give us a call at 1-800-BURY-DRY. We've been a family-owned business serving the tri-state area since 1939. We specialize in foundation repair and basement waterproofing, and we're dedicated to service and 100% customer satisfaction. Call us today at 1-800-BURY-DRY for a free estimate. J&D Waterproofing, serving the tri-state area for 71 years.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
And welcome back to the Grove City College Arena as we just had the national anthem prior to tonight's women's game, game 1 of our broadcast doubleheader on the PAC Sports Network. And before we get to the starting lineups, let's first talk about our triple three-point shooters of the game. And we'll start first with the Thomas More Saints player to look out for from beyond the arc, Sydney Wainscott. She's 9 of 19, hitting at a 47% clip. And for the Grove City Wolverines, Kelsey Shirey, the top three-point shooter, has hit 3 triples this season. And again, those are your triple three-point shooters. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living. And a couple of teams tonight with Thomas More and Grove City. Thomas More, I mean, they're just so hard to defend. They run a fast-paced game. Their defense is relentless, and a group that's really going to be a handful for Grove City tonight.
Yeah, it's conference opener for both teams, though. You'd like to start out on the right foot. You know, last year we were here for this game, and Thomas More, a little bit sluggish in the first half, and Grove City kind of stuck with them and able to take in just a 3-point deficit at halftime. So I think it's important, even though Thomas More has won their games by at least 9 points or more, and winning their games by an average of 20 points so far, I think it's important for them to come out here and have a little bit of confidence shooting the basketball after a less than stellar effort at the beginning of the game last year. You really want to start strong, especially in a conference opener tonight.
The Grove City Wolverines being introduced as we speak. Let's give you the home starting 5 for tonight. Number 10, 5'8" freshman Jackie Stewart. Number 24, 5'6" junior Kaylee McLean. Number 32, 5'11" senior Annie Wells. Number 33, 5'7" junior Kelsey Shirey. And number 40, 5'10" sophomore Mary McDonald. For the visiting Thomas More Saints, their starting 5, 5'8" senior Katie Kitchen. Number 14, 5'7" senior Devin Beasley. Number 24, 5'5" junior Sydney Wainscott. Number 25, 5'10" junior Jenny Burgoyne. And number 40, 5'10" sophomore Sydney Moss. And Moss, the leading scorer in the PAC, averaging 25 points per game. And her presence on the court not only improves the Thomas More Saints, but really benefits some of her teammates. Jenny Burgoyne has had a big year to this point through the first 5 games. She has always been a good player for Thomas More, but this year really seems to be stepping up with Moss's presence on the floor.
Yeah, her points per game has been up tremendously through 5 games, and rebounding as well. Really, when you look at their lineup, it could be sort of a 4 guards around Burgoyne. Moss is such a dual threat inside and outside, and she's really a matchup nightmare for anybody based on her size and her outside game. It's difficult to guard a player like that. And when she moves away from the basket, it does free up Burgoyne for her post play as well. And, we saw her last year, and definitely above average, more than capable post player. but being able to have teammates that can get you the ball and free up space for you, that just makes you overall more effective. It makes your team overall more effective, and Thomas More definitely has that multi-dimension. They can score inside and outside with the shooters that are on the floor.
And one of the players you'll hear from quite a bit for Grove City, not even in the starting lineup, Catherine Erbelding. She's the team's leading scorer, and we'll talk more about her once she does step out onto the court. But the opening tip, and Thomas More with possession to begin, and the PAC conference schedule is underway. Underway here on the PAC Sports Network. Thomas More in possession. Bounce pass looking for Jenny Burgoyne. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by Annie Wells of the Wolverines.
It was a good deny by Wells. Burgoyne trying to catch that ball in the low block, and Wells just swatted it out of her hands, out of bounds. Thomas More will keep the basketball.
Quick pass into Katie Kitchen. Off the glass, no good. Rebound goes to the Wolverines, and Jackie Stewart, 5'8" freshman. Jackie Stewart had talked with Coach Shelley Foose before the game, and she said some of the growing pains with the freshman guard, what you saw right there, turnovers, and freshmen will make freshman mistakes. There's a three-point try drained by Sydney Wainscott. First points on the board, Saints in front.
And that's how Thomas More makes their living, scoring points off of turnovers here. They're incorporating a press, but they're very, very good in transition. Anybody on the floor can grab a steal, and once that happens, it goes the other direction.
Wells looks left side to Stewart, trying to make a move on Devin Beasley. They'll come toward the top of the key. Pass tipped out of bounds by Jenny Burgoyne, and once again there, a pass that was a bit forced, and Burgoyne almost jumped it.
Well, that's one thing you want to do when you're playing a team like Thomas More. Good teams like to play it at their pace, and you have to make sure you're making good, sound decisions, not try and rush your play if you like to play a little bit slower. A lot of times the teams like to press, force the issue, and force you into making bad decisions.
One on the shot clock, and that shot attempt was partially blocked and not off in time anyway. So it's Thomas More basketball, leading by 3 in the first half. Just over a minute in to tonight's contest. Devin Beasley brings it up the floor for the Saints to Burgoyne, back to Beasley. As Sydney Moss move into the paint, finds Burgoyne open in the low blocks. Nice step around move around Annie Wells for the easy bucket. 5-0 Thomas More.
And that was fantastic. Ball movement in the interior, Moss in the high post, downloaded Burgoyne in the low post, and she felt the defender on her, switched directions and laid it up with the left hand.
Burgoyne, who averages 17 points per game, has her first deuce of the night. And now Catherine Erbelding checks in for the Grove City Wolverines. We mentioned she is a player you'll hear quite a bit from. Shelley Foose, in her first year as head coach at Grove City, said that they really like what she brings off the bench, an extra fire, a fiery type player, and that intensity. Really a big boost off the bench, and three-point effort by Grove City off the back of the iron on the attempt by McLean. Rebound for Grove City, and it's Kelsey Shirey. Goes cross court for McLean. Back to Shirey. Shirey, two-sport athlete, also member of the softball team and a talented softball player. And traveling on the Wolverines down low, Mary McDonald trying to find some space toward the cylinder, but travels.
Yeah, she was double teamed in a bad way, tried to force up a shot there. Might have been one of those plays where you just knock it off the defender's leg and live to fight another day instead of forcing a shot. Ended up traveling as a result.
Katie Kitchen steps around a screen as Devin Beasley from the right wing for a three-point try, no good. Shirey with the board, up ahead to Erbelding. Crossover to the paint, nice dish to McDonald, up and under, can't finish though. Rebound by Sydney Wainscott. Beasley right side, trying to go to Moss, top of the key. We have a foul away from the basketball.
Annie Wells and Burgoyne fighting for post position down low on the blocks. That foul will go on Wells. Bumped Burgoyne out of the way. Look for those two to battle in the paint.
Wainscott accepts the inbounds pass. A nice move around Erbelding with the kiss off the window. 7-0 Thomas More. Wainscott with 5 in the early going. Now the trap, and there's a steal by Katie Kitchen. Unable to get a clean hold of it. Dive on the floor. Ball still loose. Erbelding has it on the floor, trying to escape. And we have a timeout called by Grove City. Wisely done. Coach Shelley Foose, seeing Erbelding in a desperate situation, calls the timeout. So Grove City will have possession, trailing by 7 in the first half. This will be a full timeout. We'll take a break with the Wolverines on the PAC Sports Network.
Bankruptcy myths. busted.
I heard you lose everything you own when you file bankruptcy.
The whole point of bankruptcy is to get a fresh start, and that's only possible if you have something to start with. In over 95% of bankruptcy cases, individuals keep everything they own, including their home, car, pension, and household goods.
Myth busted. Bankruptcy Myths Busted, brought to you by Foster Law Offices. Call today to schedule a free consultation and sleep better tonight.
Welcome back to the Grove City College Arena. 7-0 the score in the early going, favoring the 7th-ranked team in the nation, the Thomas More Saints, ranked 7th by D3Hoops.com. Also ranked 11th in this week's USA Today Women's Basketball Coaches Association Division III poll. A very talented group, and it's our first look at the Thomas More Saints this season. We'll see them again a couple of more times along the way on our PAC Sports Network schedule. Glad to have you along on PACSN tonight, and feel free to check out our website, pacstream.net, for our basketball schedule as to what other games we might be covering in the near future. Try for Grove City's Annie Wells off the front of the rim, and now pushing the floor in transition. Beasley to Kitchen, she's fouled, and will go to the line for two.
And Beasley so good distributing the basketball and running the break. Actually started that break grabbing the rebound and just took over and found Kitchen down low.
Beasley, the conference leader in assists with 30. Almost had one there, but Kitchen at the line. First free throw is good. Katie Kitchen hits it at an 87% clip at the charity stripe. If you're Thomas More, you like to have her at the line. Kitchen, who went to Campbell County High School in Kentucky. She holds the school record for 31 consecutive free throws there. Also knocks down the second, so it's a 9-point advantage for Thomas More. Shirey. Pass to McDonald right side, back to Shirey, guarded by Wayne Scott. McDonald tries to go baseline, finds resistance, pass through the wickets of Belding and out of bounds.
That's the second time McDonald's gone baseline or caught the ball on the baseline, and immediately Burgoyne's come over to help out Sydney Moss, and they just form a two-man trap right there on the baseline and force 2 turnovers.
Now McDonald, one of the taller players for the Wolverines, likes to get to that low spot and was trying to move baseline, perhaps open something up for one of her teammates. Belding was open, but didn't see the ball all the way through. Nice move by Sydney Moss for the deuce, and it's 11-0 Thomas More.
Well, that was a big-time move right there. Just spun off McDonald. Belding came over to help. And neither were any match for the spin move and left-handed lay-in. That was impressive.
Made it look easy, very graceful.
Oh, yeah.
Sydney Moss averages a double-double per game, 25 points per game and 11 rebounds. Kitchen sends it in to Burgoyne. Beasley now has Kitchen on the right wing. Cross court to Burgoyne. Thomas More very patient on this possession. McDonald brings out the defense on Moss. Now has Kitchen, crossover attempt on Shirey. Good defense by Shirey, however. Burgoyne will try the three. A little short on the shot. Rebound to the Wolverines and Asadet Rodriguez. Belding stops her dribble, in some trouble, releases a pass to Stewart. Stewart, nice take through the lane, and the Wolverines on the board, 11-2.
Well, that was a fantastic take. Down the lane, saw some space, and just laid it in. No one came out to cut down her path.
Burgoyne with the answer on the other end. Back to an 11-point lead for the Thomas More Saints.
Grove City's doing a great job in their half-court defense of preventing Thomas More from getting to the rim. They're collapsing down low, forcing some double teams, making the Saints kick it out. When Thomas More gets in that transition, that's when they're able to attack the hoop, and that's where they've scored a majority of their points so far.
McDonald guarded by Moss, passes left side to Stewart. Top of the key, looks to Belding. 5 on the shot clock, pass tipped out of bounds, and last touched by the Wolverines, according to the official. Looked like Moss might have stepped in front. The shot clock was winding down, so might be a moot point either way.
It would have been 3 seconds to shoot on the shot clock with a tough inbound spot down here in the corner, but nevertheless, that point is moot. Back to the Saints.
Beasley takes her time, walking it up the floor. as Burgoyne. Fake pass toward Kitchen. Instead goes to Moss. Wayne Scott, nice lob in pass to Burgoyne and had position off the glass. 15-2. Well, Jenny Burgoyne, we talked about her in the Open, how Sydney Moss has really opened things up for Burgoyne, a very talented player in her own right, and now receives a pass after the steal by Beasley, and will finish it off. Burgoyne, while she was being chased down by Rodriguez with a successful lay-in. And Thomas Moore impressively blowing things open in the early going. Shot blocked by Katie Kitchen on the attempt by Brandy Nikoloff. Possession will stay with the Wolverines as we have a foul on Thomas Moore.
Looks like we
No, excuse me, make that the other way around.
Yep.
Foul on the Wolverines, and that'll be charged to Jackie Stewart, her first. Third foul on the Wolverines. No fouls so far on Thomas Moore. Checking in for Thomas Moore, Mariah Corey and Stephanie Krusling. Blocking foul, and that will be on Stewart. So back-to-back infractions on Stewart. That gives the freshman 2.
Might earn her a spot on the bench for a moment as player checking in for Grove City.
A correction on that. They actually charge it to Asenette Rodriguez rather than Stewart. Unless the scoreboard, well, let's see here. Unless the scoreboard had it wrong. I could have sworn I saw 1-0 displayed by the official.
And
but
she was in the area. But
yeah, and she's been taken out of the game. I'm going to go with what I saw. The rule of thumb as a broadcaster, never trust the scoreboard. So we're going to stick with Jackie Stewart owning 2 fouls. And Asenette Rodriguez with none. 2-point try from the top of the key, drained by Wayne Scott. 19-2, Thomas Moore.
And they have her on live stats with 2 fouls, so your assumption is not trusting the scoreboard, but we're trusting live stats.
No, that's true, but I'm going to trust my own eyes. I saw the official signal 1-0 to the bench, and the fact that Coach Shelley Foose removed Miss Stewart from the game is indicative of the fact that she now has 2 fouls. There's Rodriguez. Nice dish to Conaby. Can't finish, however. Too high off the glass. And Moss with a long lead pass as Olivia Huber for the lay-in attempt. No good. Nikoloff bumped underneath the hoop. And that'll be on Mariah Corey. First foul on Thomas Moore goes to the 5'10 senior Mariah Corey. Corey also is on the track and field team for Thomas Moore. Multi-sport athletes on the floor for both teams. Corey, we mentioned 2-sport athlete. Olivia Huber, also a member of the Thomas Moore soccer team, the PAC Championship Thomas Moore soccer team. And right now, Huber guarding Kelsey Shirey, 2-sport athlete for the Wolverines, who we mentioned earlier on, also plays softball. Nice move by Shirey, but again, the ball won't go through the cylinder as Thomas Moore will push the floor. Wayne Scott from the left side will lob one toward the bucket, but no good off the back of the iron. Rebound McLean. And on the out-of-bounds line, Teresa Dalator, the 5'7 freshman, turns it over to Thomas Moore. Well, it's early, but Thomas Moore's lived up to their billing, I would say.
Yeah, they're very impressive.
And there's a steal by Conaby. Conaby trying to go coast to coast with it, makes a move around Huber in the lay-in. And Hannah Jo Conaby makes it 19-4. Fight for the rebound. And on the floor, Wayne Scott got to that one. Krusling has Huber for a tray. Back of the iron, Corey tips the rebound out. Ends up in the hands of Krusling.
That was a great job by Wayne Scott to tip that over to Krusling, able to only get one hand on it. She tipped it to her teammate.
Now a steal by Dalator, chased from behind by Krusling, and the giveaway to Sydney Moss. Moss, lob pass ahead, far sideline. Huber goes cross court to Wayne Scott. Mentioned she's the triple 3-point shooter to watch for the Thomas Moore Saints. She declined on that 3 attempt, but will go for a tray here and drains it. 22-4. That's her second triple of the night and first in double digits for the Saints. She's got 10. Double team on Dalator. Jump ball tie-up situation. The arrow is with Grove City. Dalator will check out. Nikoloff re-enters for the Wolverines, and she will administer the inbounds pass. .11.5 to go in the first half. Game squarely with Thomas More. They had jumped out to an 11-0 lead, and it's been all Saints since. Shirey has the ball blocked out of bounds by Thomas More. And that is Alexa Santamaria with the block, 5'11" sophomore, making her return tonight from an injury. And Coach Jeff Hands very pleased to have her back, and part of that deep roster that Thomas More has. I mean, any player that enters the game, as there's a steal by Corey, any player, whether it's starter or off the bench, they are significant players and contributors for this Thomas More squad. Now Krusling for a jump shot, two-pointer just inside the perimeter from the right quarter, 24-4.
Thomas More now 10 of 18 from the field, over 50%. Really looking like a dominant team.
Steal by Huber. From Bernice, passes it away to Krusling, pushes the floor, bounce pass to Corey, no good. Loose ball off the rebound, and Annie Wells will claim that. McLean looking for some help. We'll go left side, Conaby back to McLean. Nice give and go.
Yeah, great give and go, exploiting that area down low.
Foul on the other end. Conaby and Krusling in some contact, and that is on Hannah Jo Conaby. Fifth team foul on the Wolverines. First to Conaby. Free throw for Krusling. Knocked down. 5'5" junior is Stephanie Krusling from Cincinnati, Ohio, and McNicholas High School. Second free throw also knocked down. So give Krusling 4 points on the day as the Thomas More Saints rolling. Glad you can be with us tonight on the PAC Sports Network. This is game one of our broadcast doubleheader. Men's action to follow. 7:30 scheduled tip-off. An exciting opening night of conference play league-wide. And I know we were anxious to see the 7th-ranked Thomas More women's team take the floor. And the men's game should be an exciting one as well, as there's Jenny Burgoyne for the lay-in from point-blank range. Burgoyne with 8 points. 2-point try by Conaby, no good. Burgoyne with the board. Lead pass for Beasley. Nice step around move around Dalator. Nice dish to Burgoyne, the finish of the foul.
Oh, that's why she leads the conference in assists, I guess. Great look by Beasley.
Now Devin Beasley and Allison Long, who's now an assistant coach, but the PAC Player of the Year from a year ago, Allison Long and Devin Beasley had both played at the same high school together in Kentucky and at Connor High School, and both were known for their ability to dish off assists to their teammates, and something that Devin Beasley takes great pride in. I know that from talking with her, she would rather have one of her teammates score off of one of her assists than she actually score herself as Burgoyne finishes off the 3-point play.
You were talking about depth on the bench. She was one of those that was off the Thomas More bench, filling in for Allison Long or any other guard. But she wasn't starting coming off the bench, and it's great luxury to have the last couple of years having that kind of talent. This year, obviously, she's starting, but having talent like that coming off the bench, getting meaningful playing time as an underclassman, then you're ready to step in when a starting role is presented to you.
After the missed shot, Shirey going for the rebound, gets to it and is tripped up on the floor. Charge the foul to Jenny Burgoyne, her first. Only the second foul overall on the Thomas More Saints. Inbounds pass to Dalator. Nice look, Shirey to McDonald. A little bit of a left-handed hook shot. She is fouled on the effort and will go to the line. And back-to-back fouls on Burgoyne. Over 9 minutes to go in the first half. See if Coach Hands allows Burgoyne to stay in the contest after 2 quick fouls in succession. And of course, there is Burgoyne headed to the bench for a bit of a rest as Sydney Moss re-enters. Now, how much fun it must be for Coach Hands to shuffle the lineup as he does. Oh, Burgoyne, you have 2 fouls now. We'll just bring Sydney Moss back in. And there's a long pass attempt, trying to go for the end zone, so to speak, for Katie Kitchen. She's caught in a tie-up, however. Charge the foul to Natalie Galens. That's the 6th, so lobbed in inbounds past Beasley to Moss, and in midair levitates for just a little bit and then dumps it in with the swish. Well, we've seen just 2 buckets so far for Sydney Moss, but both have displayed great athleticism. And there's a steal for Sydney Moss. The transfer from Florida. Pass to Santa Maria, and off the window and good. Thomas Moore rolling in the first half.
Yeah, they are rolling like a well-oiled machine, replacing players in off the bench and ready to make plays. Dishing an assist and then scoring before that. They're just, how much more you can say about the effort that Thomas Moore is getting from whichever 5's on the floor.
Shirey with a nice jump shot. Makes it 35-10. A whistle on the other end of the floor. Inbounds pass to Moss, jump shot, knocks it down. 27-point lead for Thomas Moore in the first half. Really a tough task on opening night for the Grove City Wolverines. You love to start off conference play with a victory, and already with a hefty deficit, and they knew it was going to be a difficult night for them. And there's a pass underneath to Nikoloff, fakes one way, goes the other. Shot blocked by Katie Kitchen, ball still with Nikoloff, but she travels on the low right block. But the good news for Grove City, I guess you could say, is after tonight, they only have to face Thomas Moore one more time. 3-point try, no good. Moss with the rebound, up and under in the foul. Sydney Moss now with 8 points.
How do you defend that?
You can't. That's exactly what we're talking about. Such a tough task for Grove City this evening. And Sydney Moss got the rebound, and an improbable shot from underneath the backboard. Gets it to drop and knocks down the free throw for the 3-point play. And within the blink of an eye, she had only 1 bucket, now has 9 points.
And trying to join Jenny Burgoyne and Wayne Scott in double figures. Burgoyne 13 points, Wayne Scott with 10.
Dalatour to Nikoloff. From the left side, we go back to Dalatour, 5'7" freshman, shot attempts, and McDonald is fouled. Santa Maria is charged with the foul for Thomas Moore.
McDonald back at the line, knocked down a pair of free throws earlier in the game.
Cannot connect on this attempt. McDonald, who hits 63% from the free throw line, 19 of 30, including her free throw attempts tonight. No good on the second try, too short. Rebound, Sydney Moss. Up ahead in the forecourt to Devin Beasley. Bounce pass to Moss, back to Beasley. Left side, Santa Maria. Spin move, fadeaway shot off the window.
Everything falling for the Saints.
I'll tell you what, when we say Thomas Moore is looking good, I mean, they have a 42-10 lead, and I mean, they're not just impressive in doing it, but some of these shots are highlight reel material.
Yeah, 17 of 29 now from the floor.
Kickball on Moss. Now Thomas Moore leads the all-time series against Grove City, 19-0. They've never lost to the Wolverines. Inbounds pass goes to McLean. McLean goes left side, Nikoloff trying to get around the screen. Bounce pass McDonald. Left side, tries to escape some traffic. Throws up a shot, no good. Rebound and putback attempt won't fall for Galen's. Still a loose scrap on the floor for that basketball, and we have a whistle. That's the second foul on Mariah Corey. Inbounds pass tipped by the Saints, but into the arms of McDonald. Over 6 minutes to go in this first half, and it's been all Thomas More. Pass attempt looking for McLean was Dalator, but McLean was not looking for the pass. And out of bounds, turnover gives possession back to Thomas More. Us Wolverines team with new head coach Shelly Foose, hoping to change a trend of having just one winning season over the last 8 years. Grove City's women's program trying to turn things around. And Shelly Foose has been part of the basketball program since 2006 as an assistant coach. That's one of the advantages, at least, in the fact that you have a new coach. She knows what has been a part of the recent past, and also has been a part of all these players on the floor right now. Whether it goes from the freshmen all the way to the seniors. She knows the group that she has out there on the court. And that'll be an advantage for her. Belding pass attempt blocked by Beasley and then taken away by Kitchen. 2-point try by Wayne Scott. Was just inside the 3-point line. Hits that one. Wayne Scott with a dozen. Open along the left wing was her Belding, but Nikoloff unable to find her as she was chased around by Kelly McDonald of the Thomas More Saints. Now it's her Belding with 6 on the shot clock. Just a spin her way into the lane, shot off the backboard, never touches rim. Possession, though, will go to Thomas More off the board. Shirey will re-enter the game for Nikoloff and will check out.
A couple other games tipped off in the conference about the time this did, so they're all around the 5-minute mark of the first half. Waynesburg up on Bethany 24-8. That's the winless Yellow Jackets up 16 in the first half against the Bison. Geneva trailing by 10 to Teal 24-14. And maybe it's the surprising score of the day so far. St. Vincent, fresh off their win over nationally ranked Juniata, 3 points up on Chatham heading towards halftime. That game 32-28. Just 3 points separate the Bearcats from the Cougars.
We'll have the Chatham Cougars on the PAC Sports Network on Saturday afternoon. Chatham hosting the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. 3-point effort for Shirey off the back of the iron. Rebound McDonald. And we got a whistle on the Wolverines.
Looks like she tried to separate herself from Wayne Scott.
It looked like she had some space too.
I think she pushed off. I think that's what the officials saw. Kind of like a receiver in football, pushing off to give yourself a little space. She did that for the rebound, and we'll shoot free throws at the other end.
18 fouls on Grove City at this point. So it'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Saints. 16 fouls on Thomas More with under 5 minutes to play in the first half. 34-point lead for Thomas More. Wayne Scott knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1. Will earn a second try. Wayne Scott, an 82% free throw shooter, hits both tries at the charity stripe and give her 14 points on the night. She is the leading scorer at this point on the score sheet. Shirey, nice take, but again, we've said this several times for Grove City. Good take, can't finish though. And now Katie Kitchen, that one won't drop for her. Rebound Rodriguez as she wards off traffic. Loose ball though on the floor in the backcourt of the Wolverines. Wayne Scott on it, tie up, and the arrow belongs to Thomas More. My apologies, arrow with Grove City. Approaching the 4-minute mark of the first half. Shirey dribbles left, stops at the top of the key, goes right side to Dalator. Bounce look to Annie Wells. Off the glass, no good. And off of Katie Kitchen, out of bounds. Nice save there. Good hustling effort by Annie Wells. Katie Kitchen petitioning that ball was actually accepted or first touched by Wells out of bounds, but Wells gets the call, and the hustling effort is what makes that happen. You have to like that, especially if you're Shelley Foose, despite the score. Even it's still in the first half, despite the heavy deficit at this point. No lack of effort from the Wolverines. Wells has Rodriguez. Now it's her Belding. Strong take, but off the left side of the rim. Now we have some contact. And we'll have another 1-and-1 as Rodriguez charged for the foul. And it'll be Wayne Scott headed to the line once again. Now, Sydney Wayne-Scott, in her junior season, was a transfer from the University of Pikesville, a 1,000-point scorer at Simon Kenton High School. And was a first-team All-Northern Kentucky selection in high school. Tied the school's single-game record for points with 41 against Scott High School during her time there. And was named to the, this is a big reason why you like to have Wayne Scott at the line, was named to the Cincinnati Hall of Fame for free throw percentage, 83% in high school.
Their entire team tonight could be put in the Hall of Fame for free throw percentage. They're 10 of 10 from the line. There's 2 more points in transition.
This time it's Krusling. She has 6. Shot dropped, but won't count as Shirey called for the offensive foul.
Offensive foul number 33, Kelsey Shirey, her second, team 10.
Second foul to Shirey. From the right corner, Wayne Scott looks to Huber. Krusling, left wing. Beasley, lob pass to Moss. And she takes care of the rest. 52-12.
Gonna put Moss now in double figures with 11 points.
Two-point jump shot for Belding. Wells fighting for the rebound, but it's out of bounds off of Annie Wells. Well-oiled machine, the Thomas More Saints in half number 1. Wayne Scott from the left corner has Olivia Huber. Now to Krusling. Right wing Beasley in some trouble. Releases a pass to Moss. Big jump step. Jump shot off the back of the iron. And rebound for Grove City's Natalie Galens. Galens harassed. Goes cross court to Wells. Wells left wing Nikoloff. To Dalator. Dribbles right. Nikoloff left of the elbow. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Pass attempt stolen away by Krusling. Had her arms locked up with her Belding, who rustles her down to the floor. And her Belding charged with that infraction. And the first foul on her Belding, and we'll put Stephanie Krusling at the charity stripe for 2 free throws. 10 fouls, double bonus now, the Thomas More Saints. Now Krusling with a free throw miss. Now that is the first. The first for Thomas More collectively tonight.
Yeah, started out 10 of 10. Mark that will definitely make any coach smile. Now they're just shooting a mere 90% from the line, 10 of 11.
Knocks down the second, does Krusling. Gives her 7 points this evening. Nikoloff. Goes to Dalator. Guarded tightly by Kelly McDonald. Bounce pass to Erbelding. Hook shot won't fall. Rebound Huber. Now, Huber mentioned that she's also a member of the soccer team. Thomas More winning the PAC Women's Soccer Championship. We had on the PAC Sports Network in the fall the Thomas More Saints women's volleyball team winning a conference crown. Saw that one live at Bethany.
That was a great match. Back and forth. Went 5 sets.
Santa Maria. Good position defensively there by Nikolov to force the wayward shot by Santa Maria. Lob pass Erbelding off the window. Makes it 53-14. Olivia Huber into the lane. Travels.
Looks like she may have wanted to dump that pass off to Santa Maria, then thought at the last moment, might as well take a shot. Took too many steps in the paint.
Dalator in some trouble. Pinned to the near sideline. Finds Erbelding. Nice dish to Wells. Won't drop it. Wells to the line.
And Grove City's had a couple of nice possessions throughout this first half where they moved the ball quickly, and that's when they've been most successful at attacking the hoop. Knowing where to go with the basketball, making safe passes, short passes, but also crisp passes. When they start doing the cross court, that's when they can lead to turnovers.
Wells cannot connect on the first attempt. Wells just 4 attempts from the free throw line this year. She's now 1 of 4, including that first shot moments ago. Second one rattles out. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Thomas More works the offense. Patient approach. Now it's Moss for the three-point try. Front of the rim. Rebound Erbelding. Erbelding will run the floor. Bounce pass. Nicely done as she has Natalie Galens for the bucket. The 5'10 sophomore. Thomas More trying to respond before the end of the half. Ball out of bounds. And it's out of bounds off of Thomas More. We have a timeout. And this will be a 30-second timeout for the Grove City Wolverines. With that, we'll keep it right here. 3 seconds on the first half clock. Again, it's been impressive for Thomas More, 53-16 at this point.
Yeah, great opportunity here for Grove City, recognizing how much time's left, 3 seconds. Ball out of bounds on the baseline, away from the hoop, but a good opportunity here to draw up some kind of play. You have to practice these down the road. You never know when you might have to, in a tight game, use an out-of-bounds play where you have to go the length of the court to get off a last-second shot under 5 seconds to go. So good timeout, good learning opportunity here. See what Thomas More does if they sag their defense back a little bit. Make it a little bit more difficult with players in the backcourt.
Long pass stolen by Moss. 1 second on the clock. Jump shot and nothing but net. And that ends the first half for the Thomas More Saints, and perhaps fittingly so. A steal and the bucket, 55-16 as we head to intermission. We'll take a quick break. Justin and I will come back and talk about some things, and we'll come back here after this timeout on the PAC Sports Network.
3 generations, Sharps Furniture has been proud to serve Southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharps carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharps Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA.
Hi, I'm John Williams, Superintendent of J&D Waterproofing. If you have bowed or cracked walls due to water seepage in your basement, give us a call at 1-800-BURY-DRY. We've been a family-owned business serving the tri-state area since 1939. We specialize in foundation repair and basement waterproofing, and we're dedicated to service and 100% customer satisfaction. Call us today at 1-800-VERY-DRIVE for a free estimate. J&D Waterproofing, serving the tri-state area for 71 years.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
And welcome back to the Grove City College Arena. Impressive showing in the first half. The Thomas More Saints blowing things open 55-16 over the Grove City Wolverines. And again, this is game one of our broadcast doubleheader here on the PAC Sports Network. And stay tuned for men's action. Tip-off scheduled for 7:30 p.m. and should be a fun one. And I know it's been fun to watch this Thomas More group, this women's group right here in this first half. We knew they were good, but wow.
Well, sometimes when you have a team that's perennially in a top 25 ranked, top of the conference, all the accolades that Thomas More has earned over the last couple years, sometimes you get skeptical a little bit when you see a team, a new incarnation of the team, next year's version. When they're preseason ranked, all right, well, let's see if they live up to the hype. This team definitely lives up to it. I was talking to you when we were off the air about, are there really, they're ranked number 7 in D3 Hoops poll. Are there 6 teams that are better than this team? That's obviously up for debate or whatever, but they're playing like a top-ranked team. It wasn't all that long ago that Thomas More was ranked number 1 in the country, and they're certainly dominant tonight, and I see very good things if they continue to play like they are tonight out here. They're just relentless defensive pressure, making shots, making their open shots, creating their own shots, playing good defense, and really not showing a whole lot of weaknesses out here on the floor.
Some quick individual numbers. Sydney Moss with 13 points, Jenny Burgoyne with 13, and Sydney Wainscott with 16. And for the Grove City Wolverines, they have 6 different players on the score sheet, all with 2 points apiece. And it's obviously been a quiet night offensively for Grove City, as they're really just doing the best they can, kind of facing the tide here, the monsoon or tsunami, is it more than a wave or a tide coming from Thomas More. It's been quite an onslaught, but Grove City doing the best that they can, and again, 6 different players on the score sheet, all with 2 points, or excuse me, 8 different players on the score sheet, all with 2 points apiece. But nonetheless, we're going to work our way toward a halftime break here with a standby graphic. We do offer our sincere apologies for halftime. Typically during our basketball doubleheader broadcast, we have a halftime feature for you. Tonight, unfortunately for the women's broadcast, we will have one for you for the men's, but technology can be your best friend, and sometimes it can be a pain. And unfortunately, we had an issue technically, and we will not have a halftime feature to air live. However, with that said, we will ultimately have one for the women's program of Grove City. We're actually focusing on the volleyball coach, a longtime volleyball coach here at Grove City, Susan Roberts, who is retiring after 29 years as head coach, and it's going to be a great feature. Catherine Gein's been working on it diligently, and it's going to be a great one. It will be available for you online once of course our technology decides to cooperate with us, but it'll be a great one, and we'll certainly pass along the link to that in the direction where to find all of that.
And she does have basketball ties. Used to coach the Grove City program for a number of years, in addition to her volleyball ties, and coach the softball team too here. So 3 different sports for her as a member of the Wolverines, different coaching staffs, and stepping down as the volleyball coach, and got to talk to her, and it was great. So look for that probably put that on our blog, on our website at some point in the near future.
And might as well give a plug to our blog. You can follow us as well, additionally to the blog, on Twitter at PAC Sports, on Facebook. The blog link is available really anywhere you can find us, whether it's on Twitter, on Facebook, on our website, pacstream.net. Also, we have, what's our photo account called?
Instagram. all right.
Or our Instagram account. I'm not hip to the Instagram yet.
It's all right.
But,
Instagram account, Kat Guyan does a great job of downloading pictures to that whenever we travel around. She'll take pictures with her phone and put them on our Instagram account. So check that out. We tweet about that from time to time. You can follow the Instagram at PACSN and our Facebook at PAC Sports Network, and our Twitter account is at PAC Sports. And if you're interested, you can tweet us. We will respond to you during the game.
Yeah, a lot of different ways that you can follow us and that you can follow President's Athletic Conference Athletics as we enjoy the opportunity to celebrate what our student athletes are doing in the PAC. And it's been fun through the fall, and this is our third season of PAC basketball. Hard to believe that it's season number 3 already on the PAC Sports Network. But as we're saying, again, keep your eye out for that feature on Susan Roberts. It'll be at a computer near you coming up shortly. But we're going to take a break, go to our standby graphic, and when we come back, we'll have the second half of action. Thomas More leading Grove City at halftime, 55-16. And welcome back to the Grove City College Arena. I'm Randy Gore along with Justin Piles, our producer today, Catherine Guyan, and Caitlin Edwards, our camera person tonight on the PAC Sports Network. Game one of our broadcast doubleheader. Thomas More with a huge lead here coming out of intermission, 55-16. And we certainly talked ad nauseum about how impressive Thomas More has been in the first half. But tonight also the opening night of conference play league-wide, and Justin, you have some scores along the way.
Yeah, these all just after halftime. All these were 5:30 tips, just like the Thomas More Grove City game. Waynesburg up 39-20 on Bethany, just coming out of halftime. Waynesburg 0-4, Bethany 1-2 overall. You said first game of conference play, so every team 0-0. Just out of halftime, St. Vincent 47, Chatham 39. Chatham's actually making hay with the long ball. They're 6-13 from the three-point line, and Rachel McLean 11 points in that one, including 3 triples. So always a sharp shooter. We saw her last year. We'll see her again Saturday when we go to Chatham for Geneva at Chatham. That should be an entertaining game, especially if Chatham's shooting the ball like they are like they are tonight from the three-point line.
Turnover starts the second half for Grove City, and a three-point try by Wayne Scott, no good. Rebound McDonald. And something out of the stat sheet, and if you include that turnover to start the second half, 20 turnovers by Grove City. They have 16 points. More turnovers than points, never a good thing.
Never a good thing, and you have to give credit to Thomas More. They're definitely forcing the issue when it comes to making Grove City make bad decisions, and they're trying to force passes into areas that are either covered, defended, or just no daylight there for the recipient of the pass. And oftentimes, once they turn the ball over, or once Thomas More grabs that turnover, they're heading in the other direction, scoring points in transition. They did a great job of that in the first half, and that's really been kind of their style, the way we've seen them the last couple years. They have very good guards, and they're able to get up the floor quickly, but this is like a whole nother level from what we've seen before. Any of them, once they have the rebound, they're just gone in transition, and it's points on the other end.
No good from three-point land for Sydney Moss as Kelsey Shirey leads the floor for the Wolverines, hands the ball off to Jackie Stewart, who had to sit on the bench much of the first half because of 2 fouls in the early going. Turnover by the Wolverines once again. Thomas More will take it back. Also, aside from the turnovers, Thomas More shooting at a 54% clip, 92% from the charity stripe. Now add those turnovers and the excellent shooting of Thomas More, and it all equates to what is a hefty lead. There's a three-point make for the Saints. Sydney Wayne-Scott with her third triple of the day. She has 19. And the leading score on the score sheet for either team tonight.
Another game in the PAC closing in on halftime. This was a 6 o'clock start, so still 3 minutes to go in the first half. Westminster and W&J tied up at 20. Those are a couple teams near the top of the standings, tied with St. Vincent at 2-2 overall. Again, PAC play starts tonight, so there really isn't a conference standing, but it's a couple of the teams that are in that middling to top group in terms of overall record.
Sydney Moss with a bucket, gives her 15 points, now 60-16. 2-point jump shot for Stewart, no good for the Wolverines. You mentioned W&J, and they're a team coming in that, at least in the preseason poll in the President's Athletic Conference, as Katie Kitchen uses the window for a bucket. W&J is that team that's hoping to knock Thomas More off their PAC perch at this point. And they mentioned that they are the reigning 7-time PAC champions, 7 consecutive conference crowns. And W&J went to Thomas More in the regular season last year, hung with the Saints, almost beat them. Had a rematch in the PAC title game, but Thomas More winning more handily in the rematch on Thomas More's own home floor. But at least in the preseason, that's the team that you're looking at challenging Thomas More, the W&J presidents.
And they have a good group of veterans and also a couple of second-year players that are going to see a little more playing time. Their nucleus returning, Chelsea Apke, Valerie Dunlap, Kara Seaman, those type of players, and also mix in a second-year Becca Belhigh, and that's a good nucleus to challenge Thomas More. Obviously, we haven't seen them yet live up close, so other than just the names, knowing what each of those players has. We really don't know how they mesh as a unit in the 2013 edition of the W&J Presidents. But if Thomas More plays anywhere close to the way they're playing tonight, there's nobody in the country that's going to be able to hang with this team. Just too deep and too talented right now, especially in transition. They've definitely taken it to another level this year.
Kitchen open for three. Won't fall. McDonald with the rebound. McLean pushes the floor as Shirey right wing. Stops for the three-point jump shot. Bounces around, actually touches the shot clock above the backboard. That'll be out of bounds. And Thomas More basketball. Going back to W&J as far as their effort in challenging Thomas More. They lose due to the Presidents only one significant player, in Emily Abraham. As you mentioned Apke and several others. Val Dunlap down low is an outstanding player, and those are some of the players that the Presidents are hoping to rely on. And again, you add Becca Belhai, another year under her belt now as a sophomore, and the improvements that she might make at the collegiate level, as she was a terrific high school player at Fort Cherry High School. Nikoloff for Grove City with Burgoyne in her face, looking for some help. Releases a pass off the hands of McLean and out of bounds. And the St. Vincent Bearcats, a team when it comes to women's basketball, always seems to be in the mix as well.
Starting to open up that lead against Chatham now, a 10-point lead for the Bearcats after a 7-point lead at halftime, and it was actually a 3-point game just moments before half, so they're starting to break it open a little bit.
Kitchen from the left of the elbow rattles home a three-pointer, 65-18. Another thing that's been impressive about Thomas More as far as scoring output is Asenet Rodriguez, the and one. But players like Katie Kitchen and Devin Beasley, there hasn't been much need for them to put up big points. So you look at what they're averaging per season, it's not a whole lot. Katie Kitchen with 9 points per game, 8.6. Devin Beasley averaging around 8.8. But in single digits, put it that way. Not a whole lot for players that you hear a lot, have heard a lot about them in recent seasons. But Sydney Moss and Jenny Burgoyne, in terms of scoring, have really led the way. And the great thing for Coach Hands is that there's going to be a night when somebody slows down Sydney Moss and Jenny Burgoyne. And the good news for Thomas More is they still have Devin Beasley and Katie Kitchen and numerous others that they can count on that can step up, and they're certainly more than capable.
Yeah, it's definitely the proverbial anyone can win you a ball game team. Anybody on the floor is dangerous offensively, defensively. If you need a point, I don't know who gets the basketball on a last-second play on this team, but definitely capable hands with pretty much any five that we've seen in this game so far. Talking about Devin Beasley's scoring average, she hasn't even scored a point in this game yet, but does have 8 assists. So I don't know the last time I saw someone with double-digit assists and 0 points, but it could happen in this game.
And that would be just fine with her. She loves the assists. And pass toward Beasley, but beyond her reach and out of bounds. 5 minutes into the second half, over 5 minutes into the second half, and Thomas More continues to balloon their lead as we move along. Jumped out to an 11-0 lead to start and have never looked back. Lobbed in pass toward Rodriguez, caught in a tie-up. Arrow with the Saints. Now the standings in the PAC entering tonight, again, this is the first evening of conference play, but overall marks, Thomas More at 5-0. They're the only undefeated team in the conference at this point. And it looks certainly that they will stay undefeated after tonight. Katie Kitchen for 3, no good. Moss with the rebound. Creates her own space and drops it home, 67-21. Rodriguez on the low blocks, out to Shirey for 3. Nothing but net, Kelsey Shirey.
First hit from the outside for Grove City. Shirey's 4th 3 of the campaign.
Now, Kelsey Shirey, a junior, a 3-year starter. She's been a starter since her freshman season with the Wolverines. And she's just a flat-out athlete, Kelsey Shirey. An all-PAC first-team softball player at the shortstop position the last 2 seasons. And posted a .441 batting average last year with a home run, 18 RBIs, and 26 runs scored. All team highs or tied for team highs, and led the conference with 8 triples last year.
And a line change for Thomas Moore, 5 in, 5 out. Might be the last time you see those 5 starters tonight.
Rodriguez off a nice dish from her Belding, unable to finish off the play. Pull-up jump shot for Thomas Moore's Kelly McDonald. But that won't fall either, and now we've got a whistle as her Belding tripped up. We're looking at the future for the Wolverines. Belding, just a sophomore, and the team's leading scorer, 14 points per game, 14 steals, and averages 7.6 rebounds per game, and all that coming off the bench. Nice pass to Rodriguez as she was all alone, and nice assist by Jackie Stewart. And Olivia Huber the other way with the quick response. 69-26 our score. Game 1 of our broadcast doubleheader on the network. As Justin noted, on Saturday we'll be at Chatham as the Geneva Golden Tornadoes visit the Chatham Cougars in women's play. Off the glass, Jackie Stewart. Stewart with 4 points. Now we have a foul on Stewart. Excuse me, that last bucket actually was Natalie Galen's, not Stewart. My apologies. Galen's with 4 points now tonight. Pass to Huber in the forecourt. Dribbles with an angle to the left. Krusling out to Kylie Bartels. Now Krusling inside to Santa Maria. Pass attempt. Swatted down by Stewart and stolen by her Belding. Leads the charge with a 3-on-1 and is fouled by Bartels. Kylie Bartels, a high school teammate of Olivia Huber. Both playing at Newport Central Catholic High School. Bartels, a region MVP, was an all-state selection her junior year. Team won the state championship during her junior season. Bartels and Huber, teammates once again with the Thomas More Saints. But Bartels, after that foul, allows the Wolverines to add on to their score up to 30, 69-30, the lead for the Thomas More Saints. Mariah Corey in some traffic, and a loose ball will go to Kayla McLean. McLean pass to her Belding, tries to make a move on Corey, and through the lane is fouled. I mentioned Thomas More, 5-0 overall. Some of the other records entering tonight's play: W&J, St. Vincent, Westminster all at 2-2. Bethany 1-2. Grove City and Teal at 1-4. Chatham 1-5. Waynesburg 0-4, and Geneva 0-5. Everyone in the conference, everyone in the conference will be adding a PAC mark to their record tonight. Free throw no good. Thomas More working around the quick passes. Kelly McDonald now has Krusling, right side for 3, drains it. Krusling in double digits now. Pass to McLean, inside to McDonald. McDonald, nice spin move won't drop, gets her own rebound. Putback doesn't fall, but she is fouled and will head to the line.
I'll give Mary McDonald credit, still working hard down there. Nice couple of fakes to her right. Just couldn't quite get it to go with the left hand on 2 attempts, so she'll head to the charity stripe.
McDonald from Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania.
Not far from here, about 8 miles down the road.
Northwest Pennsylvania. McDonald for her second free throw try. Able to drop that one in. McDonald with 3 points this evening, all from the charity stripe. Olivia Huber in the forecourt. Leads a 3-on-2. Mariah Corey off the pass from Huber is fouled.
Grove City foul number 40, Mary McDonald, her third.
5 team fouls on Thomas More, 3 team fouls on Grove City. McDonald with 3 fouls. Corey makes it 74-32. Her first 2 points of the evening. Stewart shot block, believe that was Corey who was able to block that one cleanly underneath the bucket. And then loose ball travel is the call, traveling the call. Stewart inbounds to Shirey. Directs traffic, will slide left with Huber guarding her. Stewart inside to McDonald. Pass is tipped away by Santa Maria and taken away by Kelly McDonald. Bounce pass to Corey. She is blocked by Stewart, so she returns the favor on Mariah Corey. Pass to Rodriguez. Unable to finish off the play. Board goes to the Saints. Krusling. Far side pass to Huber. Goes right back to Krusling to the right of the elbow. Dribbles left, has Huber. She'll try a 3-pointer. No good. Stewart with the rebound. Stewart trying to slither in between defenders, but has the ball poked away from behind by Kelly McDonald, 5'5" freshman. Stay tuned for our men's contest, 7:30 tip-off between the same 2 schools, Thomas More and Grove City. Thomas More, who's reached the PAC championship game the last 2 years in men's action, but coming up short, hoping to get back for a 3rd straight year and finish off the chore. There's a 3-pointer knocked down. That's going to count as a 2 on the line. 2-pointer for Dalator.
I'm kind of excited about that men's game simply because both teams, Thomas More, you mentioned that we're in the championship game the last 2 seasons, but it's a different looking team, and so is Grove City. Grove City's a different looking team. Obviously personnel has changed with graduation year to year with rosters, but the style of play, the way the teams are playing, Thomas More in the past relied a lot on outside shooting and guard play, and this year they're not nearly relying on it as much. And Grove City, they're more a traditional defense, rebounding, kind of the proverbial don't beat yourself type of team, play good solid defense and work the ball around on offense. And they're more of a shooting, wide open type of team this year compared to in the past, kind of along the lines of maybe a Bethany team in recent years with the way that they're making the outside shot and the 3-pointers. So it's contrasting styles with the teams that'll be out here, but it's also contrasting from the way they have played in the past, even with last year's teams. So it's kind of almost a 180 each team has had since the end of last year.
And Grove City, about every 4 years, look at their men's basketball banner. They tend to win a PAC championship, so I'm sure they have their eye on that banner and looking where they're at 2013, 2014 basketball season. Thinking, well, perhaps it might be our year. And
when we were here for interviews, we interviewed a couple players for our halftime feature, and you mentioned that to them, and they kind of grin. Yep, this is our year. So still a long way to go, and you never know how the basketball will fall or how the conference will fall. Certainly the preseason polls out there, but a lot of things can change off of that, based on injuries or just the way people are playing. A lot of times those preseason polls are misleading, and based on what a team did a year ago, based on potential. And sometimes that doesn't work out. Sometimes teams falter, and sometimes teams play above what their potential or what people think their potential is. And Grove City might be one of those teams where people might be doubting how good this team could be. And I'm excited to see what they bring to the table, especially with their offensive output and how it's been so dramatically higher through the first 5 games of the year compared to where they have been in the past.
And St. Vincent the favorite in men's basketball, but it's pretty wide open, and that's what has, at least in our conversations with some of the Grove City players, that has them so optimistic, because it is wide open.
Well, it's difficult to tell sometimes based on non-conference games. Everyone plays a different schedule, and yes, everyone has a good record, or everyone has a record. You never know how good your good record is based on competition, but once you get into conference play where everyone's playing, you're seeing teams that other teams in the conference see, then you start to weed out, okay, who's got potential for a championship, who has a championship caliber team. And tonight's the first night of that, and what we're hoping for our sake is a pretty good conference race.
Nice pass by Stewart to Belding in the lay-in. 76-36 our score. Thomas More winning handily, and will be on their way to their first conference win and a 6-0 mark. Grove City, once this one goes final, will drop to 1-5 overall and 0-1 within PAC play. That's still 6.5 to go in this one. And it should be an exciting trek through the men's basketball schedule, see how it all plays out. We'll at least get an early look at that. Not all that long from now. About 40 minutes from now, scheduled tip. There's a steal for Belding for Grove City. And is fouled on the back end of that play. And that'll be charged to Alexa Santamaria. Third foul on the 5'11" sophomore. Belding cannot connect on the first free throw. 53% free throw shooter. Won't drop. Player that Coach Shelley Foose is very excited about in Belding. And even though she's not a starter, but logs significant minutes off the bench. And it's one of those cases where whether you're a starter or not, the term quote-unquote starter is irrelevant, because she's going to see her minutes, the type of player Belding is. Santamaria free throw off the front of the rim. Few free throw attempts so far this season for Santamaria. She is now 2 for 5 with 2 attempts just seconds ago. She now has 7 points tonight, does Santamaria. Starters are out for Thomas More. You won't see them for the rest of the evening, as Cindy Wainscott with an impressive 19-point performance, including 3 3-pointers. Sydney Moss with 17 points, getting us to where we're at now at 77-36. Jenny Burgoyne also with 13. And Stephanie Krusling with 10. Stay tuned to the post game. We'll hand out our Foster's Law Office's Player of the Game. You can follow along on our PAC stream site, as well as we have a running log of our PAC Players of the Game, our PAC Sports Network and Foster Law Office's Players of the Game. Loose ball scooped up by McLean. Belding able to streak through the paint, but shot underneath the backboard. Three-point try knocked down for Thomas More. Micah Hignite, 5'8" freshman. McDonald spins her way along the right side of the lane. Gets to her own rebound, pass to Stewart. 16-footer knocks it down. Jackie Stewart with 4. Shot rattles out for Santa Maria. Rebound goes to Erbelding and the Wolverines. And we have a timeout for Grove City. With that, we'll take a quick break as well. We'll be back on the PAC Sports Network.
Bankruptcy myths busted.
I heard you lose everything you own when you file bankruptcy.
The whole point of bankruptcy is to get a fresh start, and that's only possible if you have something to start with. In over 95% of bankruptcy cases, individuals keep everything they own, including their home, car, pension, and household goods.
Myth busted. Bankruptcy myths busted. Brought to you by Foster Law Offices. Call today to schedule a free consultation and sleep better tonight.
For 3 generations, Sharps Furniture has been proud to serve Southwestern PA with their brand of personal service. Being an authorized dealer for Lazy Boy, they are dedicated to providing the finest quality products made here in the US of A. Looking for custom upholstery? Sharps carries a large selection of upholstery to choose from, all made in America. And their friendly staff will deliver right to your front door. Sharps Furniture, your authorized Lazy Boy dealer. Family owned, family operated since 1917. Located just off I-70, exit 19B in Washington, PA.
Welcome back to the Grove City College Arena. 80-38 our score, favoring the Thomas More Saints. And Ryan Briggs, the SID here at Grove City, has done a nice job in welcoming us here, setting us up top with our camera and broadcast setup, and also enjoying the tunes. 80s hair rock tonight, as we just heard a little bit of Van Halen, the David Lee Roth Van Halen.
Some Scorpions and some Rat during halftime. We'll wonder if that continues or the theme changes during the men's game.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to keep note of that, whether the 80s hair rock continues, but we appreciate his efforts. I know I do, anyway. I appreciate the 80s hair rock.
You were around for that.
A little bit. I was still, you know, I'm only a little bit older than you.
Just saying.
But I do enjoy that, so. Thomas More and their faithful enjoying a 42-point lead tonight as we have just over 4 minutes to go in this one.
Checking out some other scores winding down. St. Vincent in control over Chatham, 79-55. Taylor Mathers with 12 points. L. Collins with 16 points to lead the way for the Bearcats. Waynesburg still up big on Bethany, 63-42. Looks like the Yellow Jackets will be cruising to their first win of the season. 7 minutes to go in that game. Teal, 4 minutes to go over Geneva. They're up 16 with 4 minutes to go at Geneva. And then just after halftime, a game that started a little bit later, W&J 5-point lead over Westminster, 29-24. That game, as you might expect with a low-scoring game, has been tight throughout. Chelsea Apke already a double-double there, 12 points, 12 of W&J's 29 with 11 rebounds.
Chelsea Apke, the reigning PAC Player of the Week. Sydney Moss, the winner of the preceding 2 Players of the Week award.
They both had great outputs last week. Sydney Moss, a 38-point effort. Chelsea Apke, a 31-point effort. A couple of the notable individual performances last week for in PAC play.
Alexa Santa Maria. Nice touch. Spins home. 82-38. Santa Maria up to 9 points. She's hoping to enter the realm of double digits along with many of her teammates here tonight. I mentioned Sydney Moss with 38 points, actually a career high 38 points over the weekend at the Julie Costello Memorial Classic. Moss was named the MVP of that tournament. The last victory for Thomas More within that tournament, a 90-67 win over Franklin. Jenny Burgoyne posted 20 points in that outing. Sydney Wainscott with 15.
Actually trailed at halftime in that game. They trailed by 1 and then ended up winning quite handsomely.
Conaby called for the offensive foul. Drawing the charge, Alexis Santamaria.
Well, Grove City's played a better half in this second half, and obviously facing a halftime deficit like they did, you're playing sort of to clean up some of your mistakes and play towards that next game. And it's a better taste in your mouth. Obviously, no one wants to losing a basketball game is losing a basketball game, but you have a little better taste in your mouth when you play a little tighter second half and not as many mistakes, and you're leading towards something in that next game. On Saturday, that next conference game. And with conference play, you really don't have a whole lot of time to wait around and think about your next game. You have to go right back at it, and they'll go right back at it Saturday. I think they're playing at Bethany, if I'm not mistaken.
Caroline Wallenberg with a bucket for Thomas More, and then Asenette Rodriguez with the response for Grove City. Rebound by Conaby for the Wolverines. Over 2 minutes to go. Kelsey Shirey trying to slither in between defenders. Passes it off. Now has Stewart. Nice head fake. Tries to dish it off to Rodriguez. One too many passes there. Is stepping in front for a steal. Thomas Moore's Emily Pluto. Theft on the other end by the Wolverines. Conaby traveling the call. Now we have a line change of Wolverines entering. Only player that will stay on the floor is Rodriguez. Belding, Annie Wells, Kaylee McLean, and Teresa Dalator all entering. Wallenberg brings it up the floor for the Saints. On their way to a 6-0 start, the 7th-ranked team in the nation. Flexing their muscle here tonight against the Wolverines. Wide open, Kaylee McLean for the lay-in. McLean with 4 points. Leader for the Wolverines in scoring to this point is Kelsey Shirey. She has 7. And Catherine Erbelding also with 7. Free throw spins through for Thomas Moore's Kylie Bartels. Actually make that Kelly McDonald at the free throw line. McDonald connecting on both her free throw attempts. 86-42. Now Thomas More hitting about their average in scoring. Averaging 86 points per game, so they're right on their average. And there's a steal. Heading the other way, Pluto, shot blocked by Dalator, but then had her foot on the end line, on the baseline, and so possession goes back to the Saints. Under a minute to play. Men's teams for both Thomas More and Grove City ready to storm the floor here any moment. Getting ready for the warm-ups is this one winding down, waning moments. What will be a PAC opening win for Thomas More. Nice take by Wallenberg. And now the Saints bettering their average, 88-42. Shot clock and game clock pretty close as the three-point try by McLean no good. Saints with the rebound. And they'll just pass it around till the clock expires. There's Santamaria, late jump shot, back of the iron, no good. And the buzzer sounds. The Thomas More Saints with the victory, 88-42. We'll take a break. When we come back, our Foster Law Office's player of the game on the PAC Sports Network.
Infidelity affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help.
Hi, I'm John Williams, Superintendent of J&D Waterproofing. If you have bowed or cracked walls due to water seepage in your basement, give us a call at 1-800-BURY-DRY. We've been a family-owned business serving the tri-state area since 1939. We specialize in foundation repair and basement waterproofing, and we're dedicated to service and 100% customer satisfaction. Call us today at 1-800-BURY-DRY for a free estimate. J&D Waterproofing, serving the tri-state area for 71 years.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Welcome back to the Grove City College Arena. Outstanding performance by the Thomas More Saints tonight as they win it handily, 88-42 over the Grove City Wolverines in our PAC broadcast opener of the 2013-2014 winter sports schedule. And the women's squad, what could you say, the 7th-ranked team of the nation, the Saints getting it done. And to touch on some brief numbers as the men's team's out on the floor, Sydney Wainscott, game high 19 points, Sydney Moss with 17, Jenny Burgoyne 13, Stephanie Krusling with 10, so 4 players in double digits for the Thomas More Saints. For the Grove City Wolverines, Kelsey Shirey and Catherine Erbelding both with 7. Alcinette Rodriguez also with 7 points, so 3 different players for the Wolverines with 7 points apiece. But game dominated by Thomas More tonight as they hit 45% from the field. Grove City, a yeoman's task, doing the best that they can, but they will fall 1-5 overall, 0-1 in PAC play. Thomas More 6-0 overall and 1-0 in conference play. And time now for our Foster Law Office's player of the game. And tonight, well, really, it's take your pick, but tonight we're going to go with 5'5" junior Sydney Wainscott for the Thomas More Saints at 19 points, 16 of those 19 coming in the first half. She drained 3 3-pointers. She's the top 3-point shooter for the Thomas More Saints. And tonight, she's our Foster Law Office's player of the game. So congratulations to Sydney Wainscott and the rest of the Thomas More Saints. And again, the final in women's play, 88-42. Thomas More defeating the Wolverines. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in about 20 minutes or so for men's action. Thomas More visiting the Grove City Wolverines in men's play. Again, we'll be back in about 20 minutes. Stay tuned on the PAC Sports Network.